Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Yep. All right, let's get into some of our I don't know if we want to call them mid-season awards, first semester awards, pre-holiday awards, whatever you want to call it. But let's just roll through real quick some of the player of the year, the portal out of the year, the freshman of the year, the coach of the year, and our first All Americans here. We can get through these pretty quickly. I think we all agree. Zach Edey, National Player of the Year right now. Is there any reason to go against it? No?
No.
Okay, good. We can move on. That
No.
makes that one easy. This will be an interesting one. The portal out of the year. McCall, I'll go to you first on this one.
Whew, the portal out of the year. I think going into today, I would say Caleb Love. I thought he's been outstanding for Arizona. I mean, to think all of the heat he got last year, and you talk about Carolina, their culture, everything. He took a lot of that, and the fact that he's doing what he's doing and Arizona's playing at the level that they're playing at, I'm going to give him the nod.
Doug?
Javion McCullum at Oklahoma. Now, look, I feel bad for those Siena guys, right? 2 years in a row, they lose studs, and one goes to Penn State and kills it. Now another one's at Oklahoma. But look, Oklahoma was floundering. They were floundering, and I know they've made some other Jalen Moore at the 4, and I think it's Darth Hart comes off the bench, is a great shooter. They've added a bunch in the portal, but McCullum, he's a dude now. He's probably about 6'1.5". He's averaging about 16 a game, 3 assists a game, but he can play some point and guard. And Oklahoma was competitive with North Carolina. We talked about Providence, they smacked Providence, smacked them. Oklahoma's legit good, and I think I kind of saved that program a little bit. He's really, really good. He's a huge part of what OU's doing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I had 3 guys written down. One was Kashad Johnson at Arizona. One was Hunter Dickinson at Kansas. But the guy that I'm going to go with, David Jones at Memphis. He's averaging 24 a game. I think over the last 8 games, he's been the highest scoring player in college basketball. He had 28 tonight in a win over Vanderbilt. He had 25 the other night going up against Ryan Dunn or Reese Beekman, 2 of the best on-ball defenders in the sport. He is the reason why, in my mind, Memphis has been able to be a team that is currently sitting here ranked in the top 25, being talked about as a Final Four sleeper. All right, freshman of the year. Doug, why don't you go first?
I'm gonna pass the mic to Matt because he's really excited about his freshman of the year. Yeah, really excited about his freshman of the year.
I'm all in on Reed Sheppard. I'm all in. I just think his unselfishness. He picked a school that he's always wanted to go to, and he plays with such great passion for that school. And he's unselfish. He comes off the bench. I mean, that's culture. How many guys that are playing at the level that he's playing at would be willing to come off the bench? And he is. And I know Dillingham is too, but I just think he impacts the game in so many different ways. And he has a passion for playing at his school. And you're talking about a Florida Gator alum. So for me to talk about Kentucky at this high level is not an easy thing for me to do. But I'm giving it to him. I'm giving it to him. And you could give it to a number of guys on his team, but I got to give it to him.
Yeah. I'm actually going to give it to Dillingham. I'm giving it to Dillingham because he's my son's favorite player. And because he came out to Southern California and worked out last spring. And I had seen him, I'd seen the overtime stuff. And I was just like, I don't know, man, if you can be that guy, just go get buckets in college basketball. It's almost like an NBA role, right? Or that Bobby Jackson role or the Jason Terry role. Just come in, don't worry about position, just come get buckets. And I would actually, I'd give credit to John Calipari. He's not trying to change him. He's not trying to make him into a traditional 2-guard or a traditional point guard or, he just let him go. And if it gets bad, he takes him out and then he gives him another shot and then you just kind of roll with it. But I'm going to go with Dillingham just because he's fun to watch, because I agree with everything you said about Sheppard, and they're opposites. Sheppard does everything you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, and a really good athlete, solid, smart, makes shots, got a little stuff to him too. Dillingham's just wild, But man, when he puts in 3 or 4 buckets in a row, you're like, this kid can't be stopped. He's awesome. I'm gonna go with Dillingham.
Yeah, Dillingham was a guy that I had written down. I don't hate the Reed Shepherd pick at all. I love those two dudes. I love that they come off the bench. I'm gonna part of my one of these awards we're gonna give has to do with both those players. So I'm gonna pivot since you guys stole the best ones. I'm gonna go with Jacoby Walter at Baylor. Just the fact that he's the shot maker that he is. He's as efficient as he is as a freshman. He can contribute on the defensive end. I think that his impact on Baylor is why they are good enough to be able to compete at the top of that Big 12. Go ahead, Doug.
Well, I was just going to say, I had a coach who was on the USA basketball staff tell me, like 2 years ago, he said, one of these kids that doesn't make USA basketball, it's going to be the better because of it. Jacoby Walter was that guy. Didn't make it, and then just got in the gym and got better, and he's a stud. It's a good call.
Yeah, he's been killing it. All right, this is an interesting one. I'm going to be very curious to see where you guys go on this. Coach of the year, Doug. Can we go to you first on this one? Are you good?
No, go to the coach for the coach of the year because I like to hear how Matt's brain thinks.
Give me Mark Byington, James Madison, 12-0 right now. Knocked off Michigan State to start the season off. He's doing an unbelievable job. They're going to compete for the title in their league. To go 12-0 pre-Christmas, at that level is super impressive. I'm going Mark Byington from James Madison.
Doug?
This one's going to surprise you. Now, look, I think we all know that Illinois has a lot of resources, right? Brad makes a lot of money. They got good NIL. They got great fan support. But I always marvel at coaches and Calipari's like this as well, that are doing things differently. They're playing a different style of basketball. Okay, he's not running spread. He's 4 out or 5 out. He's letting them go. He's kind of playing without a point guard, but they're dangerous as hell. They picked some out of the portal. They've done a little bit of everything. I'm going to go Brad Underwood at Illinois. I think he's doing a fantastic job.
So Brad was my runner-up. For all of the reasons that you just mentioned, mostly that they're as good as they are without a point guard. The guy that I have right now as the midseason coach of the year might shock a lot of people, but I'm going to go with John Calipari for a number of reasons. Sure. The biggest one of which is that he adjusted what he does to go and play that 5-out style and not have to worry about having a big guy in the paint that you throw to in the post. He is winning with a whole bunch of freshmen, which is not something that happens in college basketball in 2023 anymore. And I think the most important part of coaching more than anything else is getting guys to buy into roles. And we just mentioned Rob Dillingham and Reed Shepherd are the two best freshmen in college basketball. He got them both coming off the bench, and those dudes aren't complaining about it at all. He's got everybody bought in. I'm in on the Wildcats. I'm going to give Coach Cal midseason coach of the year. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.